Across cultures, myths about mysterious animals that appear once in 1,000 years have fascinated humanity for centuries. These stories often blur the line between reality and imagination, combining fragments of truth with layers of exaggeration, fear, and wonder. But do such animals really exist? Or are they simply creations of folklore, misunderstood natural events, or extremely rare biological phenomena? To understand this, we must explore both the scientific perspective and the mythological roots behind these claims. The idea of once in 1,000 years is not usually literal. In most cases, it symbolizes extreme rarity. Ancient storytellers didn't have access to modern biology or statistical understanding, so they used large numbers, like 1,000, to describe something almost impossible to witness in a human lifetime. Over time, these expressions became interpreted literally, giving rise to the belief that certain animals physically appear only once every millennium. One of the most commonly cited examples is the legendary phoenix, said to burst into flames and be reborn from its ashes every 1,000 years. The phoenix represents renewal and immortality. However, no scientific evidence has ever supported the existence of such a creature. Instead, historians believe the myth may have originated from real birds with striking appearances, such as flamingos or peacocks, combined with symbolic storytelling about life cycles. Another example comes from deep-sea creatures. Some fish and marine organisms are so rarely seen that they seem almost mythical. The giant squid, for instance, was once considered a sea monster. For centuries, sailors told terrifying stories about massive tentacled beasts dragging ships into the depths. It wasn't until the 21st century that scientists finally captured clear footage of a living giant squid in its natural habitat. This shows how limited human observation can turn real animals into legends. Similarly, the coelacanth fish was thought to be extinct for over 65 million years, until it was rediscovered in 1938. For millions of years, it remained hidden in the deep ocean, completely unknown to modern science. While it doesn't appear once every 1,000 years, its rediscovery felt like witnessing a creature from another era, something almost impossible. Then there are rare biological events that might give rise to these myths. Certain animals exhibit extremely unusual life cycles. For example, some species of cicadas emerge only once every 13 or 17 years. While that's not 1,000 years, it's still rare enough to seem extraordinary. Imagine ancient people witnessing sudden swarms of insects after years of silence. It could easily be interpreted as a once-in-a-lifetime or mythical event. Albino animals also contribute to such beliefs. An albino deer or snake is incredibly rare and visually striking. In some cultures, these animals are seen as sacred or supernatural, believed to appear only once in many generations. In reality, albinism is a genetic condition, but its rarity fuels the myth. In remote forests and unexplored regions, reports of unknown creatures continue to emerge. Cryptids like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster are often described as elusive beings rarely seen by humans. While no scientific evidence confirms their existence, these stories persist because of human fascination with the unknown. In many cases, sightings are likely misidentified animals, shadows, or even hoaxes. Nature itself can also create illusions that appear animal-like. For instance, unusual cloud formations, bioluminescent organisms in the ocean, or rare atmospheric conditions can produce sights that seem alive or otherworldly. Without scientific explanation, such phenomena could easily be interpreted as mythical creatures appearing after centuries. Another angle to consider is evolutionary rarity. Some species exist in extremely small populations, hidden in isolated ecosystems. These animals might go unseen for decades or even centuries, leading to the belief that they only appear once in a very long time. However, they are continuously living and reproducing. Humans simply don't encounter them often. Cultural storytelling plays a massive role in shaping these ideas. In many traditions, rare animals are used as symbols of luck, disaster, divine presence, or change. A creature that appears once in 1,000 years might actually represent a rare event in society, such as the rise of a great leader or a major natural disaster. When we look at the scientific evidence, there is no confirmed animal that literally appears once every 1,000 years. Life on Earth follows biological processes, reproduction, survival, and evolution, that operate on much shorter timescales. However, there are animals so rare, so hidden, or so unusual that encountering them can feel like witnessing something from another world. So, the truth lies somewhere in between. The 1,000-year animal is not a factual biological category, but it is not entirely baseless either. It reflects humanity's attempt to describe extreme rarity, mystery, and the limits of our understanding.